Hey guys, welcome to a very quick WWE Evolution review. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Hold on, you're one day late to do the review and you're doing just a quick review? What's going on? This is a proper pay-per-view. And the reason is we're going to have a special review. The special review is going to involve me and Yasha, who's usually hidden behind the cameras. You might hear her voice on a few videos, but yes, she's going to make her Smack Talk debut on her WWE Evolution review video. So what is special about this? Yasha is not a wrestling fan. The idea for this is she is the exact audience WWE are aiming for. Someone who's new to the product, a woman, which she is, and you know, I want to see her feedback on this. You know, someone who's never watched wrestling, she's never really been into it, and I want to see what she thinks about the show altogether, because this will be her first and probably her only pay-per-view review. So this will be interesting. I thought, let's do this specially for Evolution, which I think is a brilliant concept. So with all that said and done, this is Boise's quick review for Evolution. So first things first, we started off with the tag team match, and I thought this was a really smart idea from WWE. So we had Trish Stratus and Lita taking on Alicia Fox and Mickie James, and Alexa Bliss was in the corner. Obviously she could not take part, she is still injured, but I thought this was great. This was past superstars. Alicia Fox is the longest tenured women's wrestler, and you have Mickie James, Trish Stratus and Lita, who all have fantastic history between the three. So it's great to see this match. I thought this was a really great opening. The past meeting, opening up the past women wrestlers, opening up the show. I thought that was fantastic, and it was well put together. There was a few botches. Alicia Fox, my god, that Northern Light suplex is awesome, but there's so many mistakes. Lita and Trish looked a bit ring rusted, I will admit, but they did a fantastic job and the crowd were well behind them. Alexa Bliss got involved a few times, not really too much, she couldn't really do that much, and Mickie James and Trish Stratus in the ring together was just lightning, and the crowd went mental. That's an iconic rivalry right there, and I thought it was well put together, and I thought it was good that they got a few minutes in the ring together and fans were going mental. So for me, good start to the show. I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. There was a few mistakes, but I thought the whole match itself was well put together. Next up, we had the historic Battle Royale, and I was really subjective to this. I thought this could either be really bad or really good, and it somehow got in the middle. It was like when it got further and further and more of the women got eliminated, it started to get better. And usually it's the more fun when there's like a ton of people in a Battle Royale, and then you just kind of go, yeah, let's, but I like the chaotic kind of stuff. But for this one, it was a bit too much. Like, there were a lot of legends in there, a lot of Hall of Famers, a lot of legends from the women's past, and it was the past and present meeting each other properly, because the first match was more the past, women who've been there for a long time, like Alicia Fox and Mickie James returning, who was classed as let's be honest, she is classed as a legend, and Trish Stratus and Lita, who are legends in their own right. Well, this one was the legends meet the present, and I thought this was really well put together, and it just, for the way they booked it, was great. Like I said, it got better and better once more of the, let's be honest, the legends got eliminated. The legends got eliminated first. Ivory was one of the last ones, and she had a dance break with Carmella, which was fun to see. But throughout it all, Nia Jax got the win. They did a nice little tribute to Roman Reigns, did her and Tamina, where they both did the Roman Raw thing, which is awesome. But yeah, Nia Jax getting the victory. Interesting. I was kind of hoping we'd get some NXT superstars in this Battle Royale, but it wasn't going to happen. But from everything involved, I think Ember Moon came off looking good. I think Tamina looked really good coming out of it. And I think Nia Jax looked fantastic as well. Carmella and Zelina Vega both came out looking well for SmackDown. So did Asuka. I think she did really well. So for me, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. It's a mess, but the people you expect to finally get looking good did come out looking strong. Next up, we had the Mae Young Classic final, and that was Toni Storm versus Io Shirai. I was adamant this could easily steal the show. It was good. I'm giving it that. It was really good. Toni Storm and Io Shirai showing what they've got, and wow. Shirai's got abilities in the air. I was surprised. I've watched the Mae Young Classic and I thought, oh, she's really good in the air. But then when it got to the finals, I thought, oh no, she's really good in the air. Toni Storm just came across for me as a great mixed wrestler. She's got great grappling. She's got good in-ring ability. She's really interesting. And, you know, she's already one of my favourites from the NXT UK brand. And Toni Storm getting the victory was, for me, the right decision. I think last year we had Kairi Sane, who really represented the Japanese focus, and I think Toni Storm winning kind of represents more of, I know she's from Down Under, but she's more of a British wrestler for a lot of us over here, because she's just made her name here in the UK. So her winning it has kind of said the UK brand is a brand to watch out for, and I think that works out for everyone really, because it just shows WWE, we've got this new show, NXT UK, Toni Storm's one of the main figures in there, and her winning the Mae Young Classic, which is a big award, just worked out great for me. The match itself, there was a few mistakes, but that does happen, but the match itself, I can't take a lot away from it. So I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Next up, we had the 6-woman tag team match, and that was Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya taking on the Riott Squad. I actually quite enjoyed this match. I wasn't looking forward to it going into Evolution, but I did enjoy it. I think all 6 women in the match came out looking alright. I don't think it was a fantastic match. Again, it's one of those matches where I watched it and I went, I'm sure I've seen this on Raw recently. And it did feel like a Raw type of match. It felt like it was something which had been on TV before. It felt more like a TV type of match than it did a pay-per-view match. But, you know, the baby faces did win, and it was good that Natalya, I think, got the pit. You know, Natalya did it. I think, you know, the Riott Squad worked really well, and that I think was the highlight for me for the whole match, because I've seen Bayley and Sasha work well together, and Natalya, she can kind of mix around with most people, but the Riott Squad for me have had a bit of a mixed bag on Raw, and this time I feel like they came out looking like a solid team. There was a lot of times where they were saving each other, they looked very dominant as a team, and I was like, yeah, this is what you need. You need factions in the main roster as well, and I think these guys could be a very difficult team to defeat if put in the right positions and given the right pushes. Hopefully this will give WWE creative and management that idea of, look, the Riott Squad did a really good job here on the pay-per-view. Let's see what they can do further down the line, give them more pushes. I thought this was well put together. Again, I really enjoyed it. Got a 6 out of 10 because it did better than I was expecting. Next up was the first of 3 title defenses, and that was for the NXT Women's Championship, and that was Kairi Sane defending her title against Shayna Baszler. This for me could have been the sleeper match. Unfortunately, it wasn't. There's one match, and there's only one match which was brilliant. This was a really good match. Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. I've already talked in details how much chemistry these guys have, and it showed again. They've added an extra layer to the rivalry. I want to see what happens next with Io Shirai now signed up with NXT, and what happened with Kairi. I just want to see how this goes. So Shayna Baszler was in control for quite a bit of a match, but Kairi, being that adamant babyface character, started pushing Shayna to a point where it looked like Shayna could not defeat her, and it looked like we're going to have another Kairi Sane excellent comeback match. Thing is, during the match, when Baszler tried to attack Kairi next to barricades, Kairi pushed Shayna over her. She fell into the audience, which somehow, surprisingly, had Shayna Baszler's BFFs in the crowd. So they got involved in the fight. They interfered twice in the match, allowing Shayna Baszler to get the victory. She obviously used her submission technique and held on. And Kairi Sane didn't tap out, which I thought was really good creative writing right there. I'm glad they kept it as Kairi didn't tap. She got taken out. She got knocked out from the submission move. She couldn't breathe. So that's why she was out cold. She was knocked out cold, and that's why she was unable to tap or continue the fight. I think that makes Kairi look stronger. I think this brings a really big challenge, especially because it looks like the rest of the 4 horsewomen of MMA are now on NXT. So this could be really exciting. Shayna's got like a crew now, which is very dangerous. They are very dangerous women. I mean, now I want to see Kairi Sane get her own team, a team which will help her overcome Shayna Baszler and her friends. So for me, 7 out of 10, very enjoyable match. Now we're going to talk about the match of the night, and this was the match I was looking forward to throughout the whole pay-per-view. And then there was a lot of people who weren't even interested in WWE Evolution who said, actually I watched the Charlotte and Becky match because I heard it was really good. And they said it was really good. Mark Henry even went on his own podcast and said this was probably the match of the year for women, women's wrestling. And I've got to agree, this is for me one of the best women's matches I've ever seen in my life. And that's no understatement. Charlotte and Becky tore down the house. They literally just went, right, we're not main eventing this pay-per-view, yet we have the biggest stories, we have the big story, we have the characters, we have everything that we need to take this into the main event. What, we're not doing it? Right, we're going to steal the show of it. And they did that. You can tell for a fact this was literally Charlotte and Becky going, you know what, we might be on SmackDown and you not think that SmackDown's the main show, but we are the main show. And they did. They literally sold it. Charlotte using the figure 8 with the ladders was absolutely brutal. Becky from the ladders, leg drop onto Charlotte into the commentating table, brilliant. Then Becky just burying Charlotte. Becky trying to run away, Charlotte and her having that brawl in the crowd was really well put. Charlotte coming out of being buried like an absolute beast and ready to attack Becky Lynch in absolute disbelief. She's like, what do I have to do to beat this woman? And Charlotte hitting her with the kendo sticks. Fantastic, really well put together. Finally Becky was able to take her out, putting her through a table yet again. And this was great. The crowd was split. This was great. This shows you how good the chemistry are when the crowd at the start were very much Becky Lynch. By end of the match, they were both cheering. Both women are having a fantastic match. For me, I'm doing it. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It is one of the best matches I have seen this year. Well done. Well done, Becky and Charlotte. Well done. And last but not least, it was Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. How the hell did they put this as the main event? They should have easily put... I know that the company's got a lot of investment in Ronda Rousey, and it makes sense. And Raw is the big brand. It's really not now when you look at stuff like what SmackDown are able to do. But this was fine. It wasn't anything compared to the last match, and that was the problem. You had a really good match, and then you had the Nikki Bella Ronda Rousey match, and you kind of went, why is this the main event? It's not taking anything away from Ronda and Nikki. They had a good match. It was fine. Brie Bella got involved a few times, but it wasn't anything too spectacular. Nikki seemed like she was, at a few times when Ronda was dominant. There was a very clear picture on us. Ronda Rousey is dominant. Okay? So with that, it was just like, okay. I mean, Nikki, because Brie was involved, they got that kind of, the added numbers did kind of take advantage of, Ronda Rousey, but it wasn't too much of an effect. And by the end, Ronda did win, and she even took out Brie Bella at the same time. So Nikki tapped out the armbar quite quickly. I was hoping, like, they made the armbar seem such a destructive move. So I'm just interested to see how that goes when it's at Survivor Series. But it was fine. It unfortunately, you had the best match of the night and then you went to this, and it was kind of like, oh, this is really good. It's fine. It's just not feel like a main event. So for me, it's gonna get a 6 out of 10. Ronda was dominant, but it just felt like a bit OP for a Ronda Rousey match. And there you go. That was the quickest review I could do for Evolution. I thought it was a fantastic pay-per-view. I think it was better than the build-up. WWE's build-up for it was shite. I think WWE need to really adjust themselves. And when the bloody Crown Jewel was being advertised at the only, all women's pay-per-view, yet they're advertising the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, which no women can take part on because it's in Saudi Arabia, and people are booing it. Yeah, it's a smart idea to take the advert down. I think it's great. I think Natalya winning the Battle Royale was fantastic. She's now technically #1 contender for the Raw Women's title. I think Becky and Charlotte stole the show, which is brilliant. And then we got the confirmation that we're going to see Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. They've got to build up on Becky Lynch's momentum right now. She is the hottest women's wrestler in the company. I mean, in promos, I mean in ring, I mean in ability. She is the #1 women's wrestler in the company right now, and they need to keep on that. And I think they need to do what I don't think they want to do right now. I think they need to give Becky the victory over Ronda Rousey and give her that ultimate I'm the man kind of status. But final score for WWE Evolution, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It was really good. Becky and Charlotte's match really lifted the pay-per-view up for me. But what was your favourite part? Leave it in the comments below. If you do want to follow us on Twitter, you can do it at Smack Talk YouTube. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do it at Boise88. And if you do like our videos here, guys, please like, subscribe, and press the bell to keep notified. And I'll see you guys on the next Smack Talk Wrestling review.